Hey there, Parker Reed here, and welcome to PR Media, your home for everything movies and music through my eyes. And today we have a review that I never thought I would ever do, but my love for the 4K format has brought us all here today. I'm going to be reviewing the new 50 Shades Trilogy SteelBook. The 50 Shades Trilogy is a series of films consisting of 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, and 50 Shades Freed. The series traces the deepening relationship between college student Anastasia Steele and young businessman Christian Grey. And there's a lot of weird kinky sex throughout it. For as long as these movies and books have existed, I have dogged on 50 Shades of Grey left and right, said how horrible it is, it's the scum of the earth. So when this new 4K SteelBook came out at Target, I thought, why would I spend $40 on that? Why would I spend my time watching all three of those movies? But my love for the 4K format and the fact that not a lot of releases are coming out in the first couple months of 2021, it forced my hand, and I'm going to be reviewing this set, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Because I'm 50 Shades of fucked up.
Don't get me wrong. These movies are not good. The acting is flat. The story is barely there. All the different characters besides the main two are just thrown in here and there, and they disappear without a trace for a movie or two at a time. They're not good movies, but they're just kind of dumb romantic porn at the end of the day. The 50 Shades of Grey books started out as Twilight fan fiction. So if we're getting the fan fiction version of an already bad book and movie series, obviously this isn't going to be that great. But if you go in with that mindset and you're not expecting to watch Citizen Kane, you might have a good time with them. If movies like Vertigo and A Clockwork Orange and The Shining are filet mignon, amazing food, this would be the equivalent of like Burger King fast food. It might be satisfying at the end of the day, but you're going to feel kind of gross for having eaten it. That's how I feel about these movies, but they're not as horrible as people make them out to be. Sure, the sex in it that's the only reason people watch these movies, because the actors in this movie aren't delivering a lot, and this story is really not going to do anything for you. They're very surface level, but they're well made. They look fairly good. The music is pretty great, and they don't overstay their welcome. Only the second movie felt a little bit long to me. Every other movie's pace is pretty up there, and they're brisk, and it feels like one long movie. I feel like this would have been a good TV series to have rather than three movies, because they don't feel like independent movies at the end of the day. They do feel like one long movie. So I didn't hate these movies, but did I hate the 4K transfer of all three of them? Let's find out. So if you decide to pick up the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray at Target, there is this SteelBook that you can buy, and it features Anastasia and Christian on the cover here from an image from the 50 Shades Darker film. And on the back it has her mask and his tie. This is what the spine looks like. Here's what all that artwork looks like together. And if you'd like a free download of the 50 Shades trilogy, it is first come, first serve on this code. And unfortunately, this SteelBook commits the cardinal sin of 4K releases. They stacked all three Blu-ray discs and all three 4K discs. I don't get a nice tray here at all. They stacked on top of each other. I'm worried that they're going to get scratched, but unfortunately, I did not have any say in that. So here is what the Blu-ray disc looks like for the 50 Shades trilogy and the 4K disc for the same film. Same thing for 50 Shades Darker. Then the trilogy is capped off with 50 Shades Freed. And then here is the artwork on the inside of the Target exclusive 50 Shades Trilogy SteelBook. For visuals on the 50 Shades Trilogy, we have upscaled 4K, and it says widescreen, so you will have black bars at the top and the bottom. And I wasn't overly fond of these transfers, and mind my pun, but they had a pretty gray color scheme to them. There wasn't a lot of popping detail, except when they get really close in on people's faces. And the cinematography in these movies is very bland. There's not a lot going on. Sure, there's some cool scenes when they're in the mountains, or on the ocean, or in the downtown cityscapes, but I wasn't blown away by the 4K. When I look at the Dark Knight Trilogy and they're downtown in Gotham, the details pop. The cinematography is great, but when they're in similar settings in the 50 Shades Trilogy, the 4K just doesn't pop as much. They don't look phenomenal, but the colors never felt washed out in this release. There was never bad detail. I could tell I was watching a 4K disc. It wasn't like a Blu-ray where I thought, okay, maybe the pixelation here is a little bit lower than it would be on something else. I think the 4K transfer is pretty good. I don't think it was great, and I don't think it's anything to write home about. Then for audio, we have a DTS Master Audio 7.1 mix, and I was thoroughly impressed with this. Dialogue is always audible. You never have to squint your ears to hear what's going on. There's a lot of pop hits that pop up on each of these soundtracks. My subwoofer and my soundbar were both getting workouts, and I enjoyed the sound mix on all three of these movies. Would I have loved to see Dolby Atmos? Of course I would have, but the DTS mix here was just fine, and you will not be complaining about the audio on the 50 Shades Trilogy. But would I recommend the 50 Shades Trilogy and 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray? Well, like Kevin Garnett once said,
anything's possible! Anything's possible!
I'm going to say this is a casual pickup. I don't think this could go on sale because at $40 for 3 movies and a SteelBook at Target, that's already good price. So don't wait for a sale on it, but don't run out to see these movies either. They are not very good. Transfers are just all right, but I did enjoy them at the end of the day. I can't tell you why. I got wept up in some of the emotional things. I don't know what happened. It's an anomaly to me. 2021, anything could happen. So casual pickup on this, but you don't need to rush out for it. It was just fine. And the fact that I'm saying that about the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy, it's shocking even me. I have no idea what's going on. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw here, you can check us out on Facebook or Instagram and like, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. My name is Parker Reed. You've been watching PR Media. Keep supporting physical media, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.